my name's Miranda, and today I am here to review Winter by Marissa Meyer, the fourth and final book in the Lunar Chronicles series. Before I start, I should just give you a warning that I am terrible at pronouncing half the names in this series, so if you hear me pronouncing them in ways that you don't pronounce them, or ways that are not correct at all, please don't get angry. It's just that I'm literally terrible at pronouncing things. So like Queen Leviana, let's just call her Queen L, because like I don't even know if I'm saying her name right. Being that this is the final book, this book is definitely the final countdown for Cinder and all her allies going after Queen Levana. Not only did we get that, but then this book also introduced us more to Princess Winter, who we met briefly in Cress, and she we know is beautiful, the stepdaughter of Queen Leviana, and also going crazy because she refuses to use her glamour to try and do anything, and because she's holding it back, it's slowly driving her crazy and she's imagining things that aren't really there. So if you haven't read the book, I don't want to spoil you for anything, so I'll just give you a brief synopsis of what I thought of this book, okay? It was flippin' amazing. Like, I am someone who has never been totally in love with the series. Like, I thought Cinder was pretty okay. I thought Scarlet was really good. Like, I liked it. I thought it was building upon it. And then Cress was awful to me. Like, I just did not like Cress at all, but still, it had always been like a 4-star series to me. And then going into it, I really didn't know how this series was going to wrap up in one book, although given it is one gigantic book, it's literally 800 pages, so had Marissa Meyer chosen to, she definitely could have split this into 2 300-page books and it would have been the same effect, but I really give props to her and give props to the publisher for letting her make this one gigantic book because it definitely felt awesome, like an action movie. Like, everything was just coming down to the wire, and it was so amazing how all the point of views combined. I was really worried that some characters would kind of fall to the side, and in ways they did. Like, I have to say, sometimes we'd get to like Scarlet's point of view and I'd be like, oh yeah, Scarlet's in this, I completely forgot about her. In other ways, it felt like some of the characters had to go through this growth in a very short time that we didn't see to get to a point where they needed to be in the story. Like Cinder, for example, I read Cress like a while ago. I read it when it first came out, so that was over a year and a half ago, but I don't remember her being so like into this rebellion. Like, I remember her wanting to do it, but I don't remember her being so like strong and being like, we need to do this, I can handle this, blah blah blah, and now all of a sudden she seems like ready to accept this leadership position with almost zero qualms and seems very confident in the plan they have and everything, and that just seemed like a giant leap for me, which was necessary for the story, but still I felt like Cinder, we never really got to see her accept this role. We just saw her go from being like, oh, I'm the queen, to being like, yeah, I'm the queen. And like I said, it flowed well with the story. It's just if you read the entire context of the series, you'd be like, this isn't really the Cinder I remembered. But other than that, I have to say, it was just such an amazing series ending. It's probably one of my favorite series ending ever. Even the characters that annoyed me, like Cress, I was still like, please get your priorities together, women, because it's not all about a boy. Even she was like, I feel like, downplayed because all the character was getting like equal share time except for Winter, who was kind of like the main focus of the series. So because Cress was downplayed, I feel like she didn't annoy me as much as in Cress when she was actually the main character. And then we have to talk about Winter for a second because Winter is just beautiful. Her and her relationship with her guard, whose name I cannot pronounce, it's probably something French like Jacqueline or something. I don't know, something like that. It's something like that, but they're really, really cute together, and I really like their relationship, and I like Winter's whole relationship with everyone else, with Scarlet and Cinder. She didn't really get to hang out with Cress, but mainly Scarlet and Cinder. I just love seeing like the hidden depths to Winter and the contrast between her and Cinder and her and Levana, because it was all very different types of leaderships, and I really, really liked it. But if you haven't read Winter, I don't want to spoil anything for you that happens, so please feel free to come back after you have read Winter, which again might take you a little while since it's 800 pages, so we can discuss it all in all its glory and you can hear all I thought about all the spoilers and everything and just amazingness. So thank you for stopping by, non-spoilers, but bye for now. We'll have to meet again. Alrighty, let's get right to the spoilers, and I'm just not even gonna try to like do a setup. I'm just gonna like get right into what I liked and what I didn't like, and I didn't say like right, so just ignore me because I didn't like that I didn't say like right. Okay, let's go. First of all, the mental manipulation, let me just say how flippin' annoying that was. Like, it's a cool concept to think, like, oh no, our enemy could potentially manipulate us, but like every single flippin' scene, it was like, oh yay, they're here to rescue us. And then someone would just get mental manipulation of them and you were like, oh crap, it's happening again. I think it was a cool design before this book, and even in certain parts of this book, it was cool, like when Winter took control of Scarlet and when Thorn stabbed Cress, even though that moment was really downplayed, so I was like, what just happened? Did he stab her? Did she bite him? What's happening right now? But I just felt like after a while, it got tedious because there weren't scenes where you could be like, oh, this wouldn't happen, because it would have to happen. Like, you always have the thought of mental manipulation as long as someone who isn't a shell or doesn't have that thing in their head is there. And I feel like it just got very tedious because you couldn't ignore it, or else like it wouldn't feel real. Like, you would be like, of course someone could manipulate them right now, but then like at the same time, after a while, it's just like, you're like, really? They're taking control of you again? Are you kidding me? And going off of that, I didn't get Wolf's story at all. Honestly, those chapters were so short in this one that I honestly found myself skimming them a lot just so I could get to the more interesting parts of the book. But like, seriously, I didn't get it. Like, they did all this brainwashing and you're like, oh no, he's back to Wolf, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh Scarlet, I love you again, without anything happening. And I was just like, okay, that happened. But I have to say, for things I did like, pretty much the rest of the series I found amazing. Cinder and Kai. Kai has never been my favorite, I have to admit, but I was slowly starting to like him more in Cress now that he actually has a personality. And man, did he have a personality in this. He was so funny. He like was sarcastic, and I was like, what side of this is you, Kai, that you've been holding this back, man? And he was just so great for Cinder and like supporting her and saying she can do this and everything. And I really, really liked those two in this book. They were so cute together, but then like even individually, I like how like Cinder would do everything and then Kai would just be like, I have nothing to do, or he would like muck something up. Like, it was such like a reversal of roles, and I absolutely loved it. And I have to say, I kept getting Cress and Cinder confused a lot in the book, so like I would be really confused when you read something and it was like, I hope Thorn didn't look at her and realize her love, and I was like, Cinder, what are you talking about, girl? And then I was like, oh wait, it's Cress. I have to say, Cinder, for the most part, like I said earlier, her character felt like a little off. Like, it just seemed like she made this gigantic leap to all of a sudden she was okay with like everything they were doing and everything, and okay with killing people, and then she had like this whole big passionate speech about like, I have to kill Lavanna, it won't end until I kill Lavanna, and then she finally got the chance to kill her and she had like a moral dilemma, and I was like, you just killed like 55 people without batting an eyelash, and like the one person who was actually like the most evil, you're like, oh no, I shouldn't do it. I'm like, what's happening right now? This is so stupid. And of course Lavanna's like, I surrender, it's okay. And I was like, yeah, stab that bitch, don't do that, don't believe her. But Cinder's like, oh, thank you, now I don't have to kill you. And then Lavanna stabs her, and I was like, no, you should have stabbed that bitch before she stabbed you, because I saw this happening for a while. Like, Cinder, clearly they don't have books or movies about situations like this in the future, because Cinder would have read it. If she had her little port working, I'm sure her computer would have been like, do not fall for this, it is the oldest trap in the book, because that was just so dumb. I was like, please just kill her. Cress, like I said, still annoyed me how she was all about Thorn. Like, I wanted her to have a moment where she was just like, it's more important than Thorn. But even when like she decided to be heroic, she decided to be heroic because Thorn told her to be. Like, it still wasn't her. And like, I can appreciate the fact that like she gets scared and she's not like the bravest like Cinder or Scarlet or everyone. Like, I can appreciate having a character like that, but still, I want a moment where she's like, okay, I'm scared, but I'm still gonna do this because I want to, because I want to help my friends. Not the moment she had where she was like, I'm scared, but I need to be heroic because Thorn said I have to. I was like, just let Thorn go! Oh my gosh, woman. Like, their relationship is just the worst. And I know people like them, but it's just like so needy and so one-sided. And like, even when he was like, oh, I love you, she said I love you first. I was like, why can't we just have him for once be the one that's like, that like puts himself on the line? It was just so annoying. Overall though, I absolutely love this book. I thought it was a phenomenal series ending, especially being as I am not someone who was always the biggest fan of the Lunar Chronicles. Like, I liked it, but I wasn't like, hurrah! But I really appreciate it, and I really loved it. I definitely have to give it 5 out of 5 stars. If you have read Winter, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down below in the comments so we can fangirl and discuss about our favorite and least favorite parts down below. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and want to see more of my videos. Also, subscribe to my channel down below to be told to make all sorts of new videos, because it would make me so happy. And I will see you guys next time. Bye! One thing I forgot to mention that really bugged me, and excuse me for looking like a mess, I have been sick and clinging to the shelves and watching Netflix all day, but when Cinder and Jacqueline, they were going to get the antidote and everything, and they took the antidote to protect themselves from the disease, but I was like, an antidote isn't the same thing as a vaccine. An antidote protects you after you already have the disease, like it fixes you, and a vaccine prevents you from getting the disease. So like, I'm not a doctor, but would an antidote work protecting you, or did they just like waste the antidote? Like, that made me so angry. I was like, you're still gonna get sick, and then you just threw away your antidote. Anyway, that's it. Bye.